and welcome to this video guide which will talk you through the training exercise for the Accessing Continuity study. This video guide is designed for those of you who will be measuring your continuity of care using SystmOne. We do have another video guide which will support those of you who are using EMIS. Firstly, a big thank you for registering to take part in the Accessing Continuity study. We really appreciate your time, and I do hope that this video guide will help make things as straightforward as possible. So, before you go on to measure the continuity of care in your practice, we want you to complete a training exercise to familiarise yourself with using the Bristol Continuity of Care calculator. Using the Bristol Continuity of Care calculator to measure the continuity of care in your practice involves 4 key steps. The first is to download all of the tools that you require, and we have provided these for you. The second is to run a search of your appointment data in SystmOne. And for the purposes of the training exercise, we have done this step for you and provided you with some mock appointment data to use. The third is to use the conversion tool to clean up the data and sort it in such a way that it can be entered into the calculator. Unfortunately, this is because SystmOne can't produce data in exactly the same way as EMIS, so we just need to add this additional step. The fourth is then to import this cleaned up data into the Bristol Continuity of Care calculator and run the tool to produce your continuity scores. So once you've registered for the study, you should receive this email inviting you to complete the training exercise. Now, you do need to complete the training exercise before you can proceed to the data collection process, and this is just to make sure that you're using the Bristol Continuity of Care calculator correctly. The first step is to download the tools that will be required for both the training exercise and the data collection process. So just navigate to this email and then to the section Downloading the Data Collection Tools. Now, I'd suggest creating a folder within your documents before you start, just so you have somewhere to store the files. Then go back to the email and click on the link entitled Accessing Continuity SystmOne. Click Download. And this should download a zip file entitled Accessing Continuity SystmOne. Once that's downloaded, click on it. And then click once on the folder, and then click Extract All. Click Browse. Find that continuity folder that you just created and select that, and then click Extract. This will just take a second or two as the files within the Accessing Continuity SystmOne folder are quite large files. So once that's done, you should find all the files that you need saved in that continuity folder. You should have the user guide, the continuity calculator itself, the conversion tool, the searches that will later import into SystmOne to find your appointment data, and 3 files of mock data to use for the training exercise. Start by opening the user guide. And I'd suggest that initially you read this from top to bottom, as it contains lots of really useful information about the continuity calculator itself, about the data that we're going to be using, and then a step-by-step approach to using the calculator, the conversion tool, and completing the training exercise. When you're ready to get started on the training exercise, just go back to the files and start by opening up the conversion tool. Now, this can just take a second because it is quite a large file. Once you've got it open, the first thing to do is just to click Enable Editing. And just give it a second to reload. Second thing to do is just to make sure autosave is turned off in the top left-hand corner. And that's just so that you've got a blank version of the conversion tool to use each time you want to measure your continuity scores. The other option is just to save a second clean version of the conversion tool elsewhere. Now you'll see that the first screen of the conversion tool is just some simple instructions. And then you can navigate towards the different tabs at the bottom of the screen. You've got 3 tabs where you can enter appointment data: April, August, and December. You've got 1 tab that will help you filter the data and to prepare it into a format to enter into the continuity calculator. And then you've got 1 tab entitled Data Out, where we will take the data to put into the calculator. So now we're ready to go and get some appointment data to put into the conversion tool. And for the training exercise, we've provided that appointment data for you within your folder. So just go ahead and open up the first set of appointment data, the April data. The way the calculator works is to take appointment data for a sample of patients at your practice. And one way of getting a sample of patients is to divide patients by their birth date. So what we've done here is produce the appointment data over the last 2 years for patients born in April, August, and December. What we need to do is import this data into the conversion tool. So here I've got open the April data. I'm going to navigate to cell A1, and I'm going to select this data by simultaneously pressing Control, Shift, and End. I'm then going to copy it by pressing Control C on my keyboard, and then I'm going to navigate back to the conversion tool, go to the April tab, select where it says Put Cursor Here to enter data, and click Control V to paste the data. I'm then going to repeat that exact process for the data for August and December, putting them into the August and December tabs in the conversion tool. You've entered all of that data, head to the Select Clinicians tab. And then the important thing here is that we hit the Refresh All button, which can be found at the top under the Data tab, just up here on the left. This will then produce a list of clinicians who have consulted within that appointment data. And you just need to go down the list and select the doctors amongst the list of clinicians. This is because in this project, we're looking specifically at continuity of care with GPs. And unfortunately, SystmOne can't filter the information in this way, so we just need to do it manually. So go down and select the tick boxes next to each of the doctors. And once you've selected all of the appropriate clinicians, head to the Data Out tab, and then again click the Refresh All button under the Data tab at the top. And this now produces data in a way that we can import it into the continuity of care calculator. So go back to your files and open up the calculator. Again, this will just take a minute or so as it is a large file. When you first open the calculator, you'll just need to do the same things as for the conversion tool. So click Enable Editing and then make sure Autosave is turned off in the top left-hand corner. Now you can see on the front screen that there are some basic instructions for how to use the calculator. And then you've got 2 tabs at the bottom of the screen. One to input your data and one to see your continuity scores. So let's get ready to input our appointment data. So head to the Input tab and then go back to the Conversion tool on the Data Out tab. Click cell A2. Again, simultaneously click Control, Shift, and End on your keyboard. Click Control C. And then go back to the calculator. Click the cell where it says Paste Data Here. And then Control V to paste. You'll then just need to click this box to tell the calculator that you're using SystmOne, and then manually enter your practice list size, which for the purposes of the training exercise is 17,300. Click the Refresh All button again under the Data tab, and then click View Results. Navigate to the Results tab, where at this point you'll see 4 continuity scores, one for the Bice-Boxerman, the usual provider, the St. Leonard's Index, and the modified SLIC. Now, where it says score, you will see the continuity scores. I've just hidden them for now so that you can complete the training exercise yourself. And at this stage, we'd like you to take a screenshot of your results so that you can share them with us along with your continuity scores. We just want you to take a screenshot of everything that's in this blue box. And if you need to get that all on one screen, just navigate to the bottom right-hand corner and zoom out. You can then simultaneously click the Windows key, Shift and S, which should allow you to then take a screenshot of everything within that blue box. You can then navigate back to the original email that we sent you. Scroll down and click the link to enter your training results. And just scroll down to insert the scores exactly as you see them. Make sure to also insert the number of patients that were entered into the search and the mean GP consultation rate, which you can get from the results screen on the calculator. And then click this link to upload the screenshot that you took. Click submit, and then you've completed the training exercise.